Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Resorting to Danger, the Nancy Drew Dossier second game. So, I was in the middle of adjusting things, so it may have been in the first recording that the mouse cursor was not quite in sync in the recording. That has to do with having multiple monitors with different dots per inch settings. I have now adjusted everything to be back to a default of 100% dots per inch. So if you notice that, that should be fixed now. I also, because of the full screen mode and kind of the old technology way in which this game is being implemented, obviously with the 4:3 ratio, was not able to see my timer, so I went for an hour and 30 minutes. That was not my intention. We can see on the menu that there is apparently only one more mini game in the entire story, unless they're going to just unlock more and more things. Sorry, my phone decided to start playing noise for some reason. Yeah, unless this unlocks more and more things, I suppose we're just not going to we're just gonna stick with these same 4 puzzles or so, which is fine. Like, that's kind of to be expected. There's really no different options this way. There is an intro video that plays, oddly though, as we jump back in.
Got another note for you.
The intro video when you first launch the game is not seemingly something that you can see. You'd think that it would be here on movies, and it's just not there in the introduction. And here's a sweet concoction. Is that how you spell concoction? I've cooked up for you. This time we'll see 2 new things on the board. First of all, there are blank tiles added to the mix. These tiles can't make any matches themselves, but can swap them with other tiles if it results in a match. Okay. Also, you now have to earn your power-ups by making matches with certain tiles. For instance, this tile contains a hint power-up to make. If you make a match using this tile, 1 hint will be added to your hint button on the left side of the screen, which for anybody who is a little too old for this game, you probably don't need to hint to get the power-ups in the first place. Note, if you earn power-ups but don't use a single one, you receive a bonus at the end of the level. Okay, well then I guess that would give me a higher score. So we do still want to get get there. Let's see. Now, WHITE would spell white. Or is there any other word you could spell with these letters? Not anything that immediately jumps to my mind. Yeah. Okay, so we'll make an H and a power up. And we probably should just start at the bottom because there's no penalty for time here. And there's no penalty for taking extra turns. So you really are just heavily pushed into a scenario where you should try and get as many matches as possible. Like, there's kind of no reason not to just go for it. This is a very basic puzzle system, to say the least. So it would be an understatement to say I was not particularly thrilled with it. But I suppose we can just rush through the whole game and then be done with it and just be happy with the fact that we are done with it. And just keep on making matches. I'm trying to start at the bottom in the hopes of getting longer combos, but even that doesn't seem like that's that crazy. I just now realized that these are W's. I've been looking at these and I was thinking, why do we have two different types of V's? Okay, well, W H I D.
White? Now what part of the spa would that refer to?
There's the ivory room. Let's assume that's it.
I'll bet that's the place the clue refers to.
So we get, what is that, 11,110 points plus conversation cues bonus of 100 bonus points. Plus, apparently that gave me 2 hints that I won't need. Seems like we're slightly slower to working up the ranks. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. It is twice as much XP to get through rookie as it did to get through amateur, and so on and so on and so on.
Finally! I've been waiting to receive my facial series for at least 5 minutes! Please, begin at once.
Don't think the cutscene
I'm actually here to find
at the beginning of when you launch the
Are
game
you telling me to wait even longer?
is
I'm going to
actually
report this
related to
straight
the
management.
specific
Well,
story.
I could
It
put off
probably
my
is
other
just
tasks
a
for
pre-rendered
moment.
one
Thank
for all
you.
3 of the Nancy Drew Dossier games. Yeah, I have to really question. This was kind of the problem with any games targeted to girls, even nowadays. If it feels like it's targeted specifically to girls, it comes off as extremely cliche and extremely girly. And particularly now that we have a generation of little girls that are all about Marvel movies and Marvel cartoons as much as boys are, the idea of the horse racing games, the makeup games, the doctor games, all of those seem like they are created by what people in their 60s are telling people in their 40s to make, because the people in the 80s think that's what people in their 10s like. But yeah, this does come off as very just like cliche. This tutorial demonstrates how to perform a facial. Your goal is to end up with a customer who looks like the sample image on the left. First, let's try applying a mud mask. Click once on the blue dispenser tube to select it. So this is just going to be random colors. Now click on the client's face to apply the mud. What kind of mud is blue? What a nice shade of blue. Now we need to figure out how to make her eyes and mouth yellow, which I assume is the lemons. Click the reset button to wipe her face clean. This time let's start with the yellow mud. Click on the yellow tube once and then click on her face to apply a yellow layer. Before we apply the next layer of blue mud, we need to cover her eyes and mouth so they stay yellow. Click on the kiwi to select it, then click on her eyes. And do the same for the other eye. Now place the orange on the mouth. This really I mean, really, when you even look at what is happening right now, it highlights how ridiculous the concept is, and what a load of bull a lot of this is put cucumbers on your eyes, put kiwis on your eyes, put all these fruits on your eyes as if they are the best thing ever to reduce puffiness or like do any kind of rejuvenation to a face. Like, even if they do have temporary effects, then they are just going to be temporary. Alright, so then we click on the blue mud mask, and the last step is to remove all the fruit. Click once on the fruit piece to select it, then click anywhere on the screen to remove it. Great, you've completed your first facial. Now you get to perform the rest of the series on your own. Make sure your client looks just like this. Which, there's definitely some stuff here that was not mentioned at all. So, okay, well, brown mud, which is the only mud I've ever seen. And then eyes, and then yellow mud, and then toss. And then let's see, yellow mud, and then face on one side, and only one side, I guess that's all you can do. And then maybe also a lip thing. Nope, can't do that one either. You have to do it that way. I mean, once again, this is very ridiculous. This is only getting more and more ridiculous as we go on. Right, so nothing on the nose, which we're using apparently this leaf for. And then another thing on the bottom part. So we do this. And then, you know what we probably needed to do is this. And then this, and I bet that still works fine. Then I guess this is on the cheeks. I may have lost some points there. Let's see. That one. Yeah, I just find this whole thing kind of laughable. Like, it is really, really silly to be making such ridiculous faces.
That should do it.
I feel so rejuvenated. Thank you.
I wonder
Yeah,
if
I'm
this
starting to
is from
side with the bomber. Jasmine, though it's what you do best, I will not be ignored. Interesting.
I better figure out where that bomb is.
And see, at least in this case, they got rid of the person, the annoying client, and so it seems like we are just straight up in bomb sniffing mode. So either we're coming back to this area later, or there's just
The bomb is in the sensory deprivation unit. I need to get it open.
like, apparently we're not gonna do anything here. I can barely read this. Wow. Blue on blue, really. Sanitation cycle for the Krollmeister Sensoy pod. As a safety precaution, pod will remain locked after use until the following steps are taken. 1. Drain pod. 2. Refill pod. Make sure the hose is attached to the faucet first. 3. Refill salt reservoir. 4. Turn on UV cycle. Make sure bulb is replaced this cycle. Interesting. You have to change the bulb every single time. Alright, well, drain pod. This is where fresh water is introduced into the pod. Salt reservoir for the pod. It's just everything's really close to each other. So this has got to be the drain part. Missing UV bulb. Seemingly there has to be something in here. Let's go ahead and pull this. What did we find in here? We found the hose. Hose attached to the faucet, I guess. You can figure that out. It seems like it replaces your action each time. Now we can fill the pod. But were we supposed to fill the pod? I thought we were supposed to drain the pod. It says drain pod. This must be to empty the pod. Okay. So we turn that. Refill pod. We can do that. And turn that. We need to find where the salt reservoir is. I kind of like the idea though of them just getting to it. Let's see. Press that to see what this is. Big bag of pool salt. We'll put that in the reservoir. So secret compartment. Totally unnecessary. If I can just twist it out of the socket, well, I guess that would be turn. Now we have the UV bulb out of that area being put here, I guess. And oddly, we have another green section, which I guess the entire metal box is the bomb. This time there's going to be some green squares where you won't be able to place any pieces. Good luck. Okay, well, that, I don't know how that's going to work actually. Have to go here, have to go here, would have to go here, would have to go here, and here, and here, and there.
And you were out of commission. This bomb is full of pie filling. That sure would have made a mess.
Then we've got another cutscene, and this is a different animation style. It's more colorful.
You're here already.
But
I'm
that's
sorry.
literally
when I'm on the set,
all
I
we
never
saw.
miss a call, and when I'm on the stage, I never miss a cue. Yet for some reason, when it comes to real life, I seem to be late for everything. Wait a minute, you're not Gretel.
Oh my gosh, you're Jasmine Ivy, the actress.
Yes, I know that. Now who are you? And what happened to my regular masseuse?
I'm sorry, my name's Nancy Drew.
The new general
Funny she
assistant, right.
doesn't
What are you doing in
give
here?
out fake names.
Oh, just a little preventative maintenance. I just found this note. It sounds kind of...
Let's see. Threatening?
It sounds threatening.
Oh. It's not really that threatening. Probably just a prank, so why don't I keep it? That way you don't have to give it another thought.
Have you gotten any other notes like this?
Not that I recall. Listen, I keep hearing this weird hissing and clicking sound in my room. It sounds kind of like a snake, and I hate snakes. So be a good assistant and fix whatever's making the noise, would you please? Right now? Okay, bless you. Bye now.
I think she's probably the bomber, if we've even met the bomber. And so now we can go to Jasmine's room in the guest suite. I guess that's the way this breaks down.
On to my next location.
And see, it's slower than you would think. That was about 20 minutes to go through 2 very short chapters. And yet, here we are. The problem with this is the game is just so simplistic for what you would assume would have been a mystery story. You'd want more details. You'd want to be able to take your breath and just like think things through and make some speculation and have some fun mulling over the problem. But honestly, at the current moment, you've met maybe 4 or 5 people, and you can eliminate several of them probably. Let's see. Something behind this, which I guess if we pull, we'll see there's a combination. And then over here, to unlock this, each disc must go in its proper place. Okay. Well, the unicorn has 4 legs. Okay. Octopus has... Well, here's a problem. Star has 5 points. Octopus has 8 legs. Unicorn has 1. There are, however, 8 wonders of the world. A Gemini means 2. A decade means 10. 0 degrees is freezing, and Fahrenheit or Celsius, one of them. A 4-leaf clover. Are there 7 wonders in the world? I guess maybe.
There.
Technically, octopuses have actually 2 legs, and the rest are tentacles or no legs. Like there's a slight weirdness there. There's a button there. Well, let's press the button. And that closes the pneumatic tube. So we can now snoop around. Need a password. Let's see. We would need a password. Where would we find a password? Again, there's just like nobody here, so great. Like, the real question I suppose here would be, why would... Let's just go ahead and shake the computer. Need the combination to the safe. Like, why would her password be octopus or something like that, or anything in this room in a guest suite of a hotel? Your password would be way more consistent than that. So there is one thing I have yet to hover over. Somewhere around here. And we are just pixel hunting. And it might not be worth your time to pixel hunt. Might be better just to go ahead and click the assistance button. See, number of items left to find. Reveal this location, remaining hints 15. Oh. So it was right there. It's just a pixel hunt issue. And yeah.
Jasmine seems to have all of her passwords and security codes on her phone.
Okay, well then let's see what's here.
Whoa! Jasmine Ivy is Ida Brooke's sister?
Who's Ida Brooke? This is the kind of point where it would be very helpful to be given some default bit of information at the beginning or something. Just like, here's a picture of all the characters at the so you can see them. Here's their names. Here's that helpful bit of info. Sweetie, I know you and Ida don't always get along, and you had a few issues with her recent work in Pharaoh, but you're the big sister here and hence the mature one. Ida's birthday is coming up, so why don't you send her some flowers? Her favorite florist is Bloom Kaboom, and the number is 310-555. Boom, Mom. Interesting. Subject Pharaoh wasn't that bad. So I just have to assume Ida is the snotty lady that we gave the tea to. Let's look in here.
Jasmine seems to be collecting and cataloging all of these threats. I wonder why.
Jasmine, you don't deserve to be in the movies. Jasmine, petty people like you should watch themselves. Jasmine, I will not be ignored. Jasmine, the bombs are meant for you. Interesting.
I should report back to Mr. Blesky.
I wonder if that's... it would be probably too smart for this game for that to be an insurance policy where she's the bomber and she's made notes threatening herself to hide it.
Well, are you
That
getting
was like
anywhere?
8 minutes.
I met Jasmine Ivy, and I found out that she...
This is actually Eddie Brooks. Has been getting threats.
I found out Jasmine has been getting threats.
Threats, schmetz. She's a celebrity. Stuff like that goes with the territory. What about Mrs. Montague?
Well, I managed to...
Did I give her a facial? Keep her from getting covered in goo. Find her dachshund. I think that's the right one.
You had a brain scan lately?
I managed to stop a bomb from covering her with goo.
Good, because beneath all the designer labels and bodywork, she's not a bad person. Spent the first half of her life turning a nothing digital components company into a billion-dollar business. And now she's spending the second half giving away the proceeds to charity.
It's weird
Actually,
that he
according to
doesn't.
Helfton Helgeson, the bomb in the jungle room...
His lips don't move. Was a dud.
According to Helfton, the bomb in the jungle room was a dud. He said it was poorly made and would never have exploded.
But all the other bombs exploded. Why wouldn't that one? That doesn't make sense. Unless Helfton lied to you about the bomb. Look, I just saw him leave for his daily walk. Go snoop around in his lab. See if he's up to something.
It's so weird to be given such a small screen
Time to move on.
of the character. Like, even when this game was made, visual novels and the idea in RPGs and JRPGs to have bigger characters drawn existed. This just seems like they went lazy because of the 3D model experiment that, like many attempts to go 3D in the early 90s of games, failed miserably. I kind of feel like, and I can't really go back and remember what I did in the first Nancy Drew Dossier game, but I kind of feel like the characters were large and just there talking to you. There may have even been a Nancy Drew on the screen. Alright, we have an empty flask. We have petri dish. It's empty. We have a weird looking device. A lot of things. Graduated cylinder. A monkey named Bean. All kinds of towels. It's locked. Maybe the unlock code is related to the image on the front. Okay, so maybe that and that will unlock. Yep. Dear Hefton, I have packed your favorite lunch of macaroni and cheese. I hope that your super secret plan to finally get your respected deserve works out. Have a nice day, love, Mom. So maybe it is Hefton. Interesting. The test tubes must be put in their places. Then the fourth one is the key. Interesting. It wouldn't let me click OK until I had seen that second page. Alright, let's just do this in order. Okay. So if this purple is supposed to be blue, then I assume what we're trying to mix here is combinations of colors. So red and yellow would be orange. Black and purple would probably be purple. Or black and blue. Yellow and nothing
That
is
should do
probably
it.
yellow.
Now I just need to pick the right key.
And then unless we're supposed to do this by the Roy G. Biv method, I'm just going to assume
This
it's
must
the
be
fourth
right
one.
key.
Okay. There's no gas going to this burner. That can go to that. Okay. There. So we boiled out the key. You can't really look at the key. Other than that. There's still two more things. A lot of things to find here that, until you know why you're trying to find them, don't really make sense. A lot of opportunity for pixel hunting. Still. Yep, we still have this note too. Now we have a second note. To create compound X, add the following to a flask of red fluid. 5 ounces of gray powder, 500 milliliters of blue fluid, and 1,000 milliliters or a liter of purple fluid. Pour entire contents of flask into a petri dish to solidify. Okay. Gray powder. 5 ounces of powder. And see, you don't have a way to turn down your inventory, so they've probably programmed this specifically so you can only have 2 items in your inventory at any point. And that would only really make sense, again, if there was a limiting factor as far as the number of buttons you had to 6, or there was some other element there. Let's see. So 1 meter of purple fluid. Let's see. And we need 500 milliliters of blue fluid. Empty flask. Petri dish. Am I supposed to just use this and this? No. $500 milliliters of blue fluid. There we go. So now that, or that first, or that first. To a flask of red fluid. Oh, I see. I missed that first step. Faucet's broken, it has no valve. If you jiggle the jacket, you might find something, so we're shaking the jacket. Faucet valve fell out. Yet it can't go to your inventory because that's already full. And at this point it is just like adding everything together. Very simplistic.
What is Helfton making?
I
He'd better
feel like
figure it out.
for any game like this, you really should have some ability to get a little bit lost and have a little bit of a struggle. And I would say that's probably a problem with a lot of hidden object adventure games of this style, is that there really is no way that you're going to run into a struggle, and it gets fairly boring fairly fast because of that. See if we can maybe smash that, smash that. Well, this isn't gonna work. Not gonna get blue for a very long time. Yeah, and looking down here, guess we need to get rid of that. We still don't really have something we can solve for. So get that down. If I could get this guy to be yellow, but I can't. I feel like this is probably very randomized. We have gone past the point of it feeling like you can actually just succeed because the game designed itself to be winnable. Orange, orange. Could we get another orange? Yes, maybe we could try. There we go. Could we get another green? get rid of all of them. Ooh, I think we can finally get it.
That's it.
That took too long. And there's more to it to do. Yeah, that was only one. I'd kind of just like to be able to skip these. Not because they're actually difficult, just because they're tedious. Alright, let's hit that one. Be nice if some of these just fell into the right path. Or if some of these were already in the right space to begin with. But because you make a match of 3, it actually puts you in a very bad position to try to make adjustments, because you just can't actually accomplish the movement of 1. You have to adjust and adjust and adjust. Let's see. I think we might be able to get that one now. And then that one. And then that one. Gonna have to get rid of something. There's still that possibility of failure where you could accidentally make a different match somewhere else and mess up your match that you're working on. And the colors seem to mean absolutely nothing. Let's see. Well, if I could get this side somewhere here, get a match of 3, which shouldn't be too hard to pull off. Ooh, double match. And no special reward for getting a double match, and there are no achievements for this game or anything like that, so. That took forever.
That's it.
That was super long. I guess in this case you should probably start at the top and look for matches that you might be able to make first. Because in this case you don't want the pieces above you moving until you have that match. Let's see. Still don't think I have everything I need. There we go. The problem with needing to move like this one piece, because you really can't move these pieces here, is you would have to get a match somewhere else, and I don't think your odds are the greatest that you would be able to be guaranteed a match there. There we go. Again, I'm failing to play from the top, even though I just said I should. Oh man, this is a little exhausting. I don't know, maybe I'm just tired in general, but yeah, hitting 45-minute mark on a game that is almost 100% tedium and 0% interesting. I definitely think I already purchased all 3 of the Dossier games of Nancy Drew, but I probably will just buy one of the regular games of Nancy Drew and see how those go. I wouldn't be surprised if I just, not being the target audience at all, am completely bored by them. Unless I just don't go any further down the path of playing the Nancy Drew games. And see, now we're back to
fast.
a
This
flatter
looks very similar to
animation.
that gel I found in the jungle room.
There's the dog.
Oops. Mr. Mingles, no!
Nancy, are you still down there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Then leave, fast. Helfton just entered the building.
There's a slight problem. Mrs. Montague's dog ran off with some evidence.
That mutt runs off with everything. Okay, look, all the trash from the salon gets incinerated about this time of day, so that's probably where he went. The little klepto has this weird thing about hair. So leave the lab and go to the furnace room. Now!
It'd be funny if it turned out that the dog was the bomber. That would be funny. And see, that gets us to the end of chapter 9, which does kind of highlight, I think, a longer series than I would have thought. The problem here, and I'm gonna probably say it a lot, is unless we just have chapters that are very, very quick, which maybe they are going to be very quick since we're already well in our way to being gifted Gumshoe. I feel like what we're going to run into is a lot of tedium, a lot of mini games, a lot of find the hidden object things, anything and everything to possibly stretch out the length of the story. Seeing how many chapters there are, it makes me feel like we probably should fairly quickly figure out who the bad guy is in like the first 12 or 13 chapters, and then we chase after them for another 12 or 13 chapters, and then we get a resolution for another 6 chapters. That way the story can try to add some twists to the plot. I don't recall when reading Sherlock Holmes as a kid. I guess Sherlock Holmes was written for adults, so it was probably a much better written story than this is. I would hope that Nancy Drew books are actually a lot better written than this game seems like it is. But I think I read the first Boxcar Children, and I think those were murder mystery books too, and I feel like those were fairly complicated, or at least they were fleshed out and had more than a few lines of dialogue here and there. Like, I imagine a Boxcar Children book or a Nancy Drew book would probably have 300 or 400 pages minimum. Maybe it's a really big font, maybe it's very few sentences, but I would say this game probably has considerably less than that in the same comparable formatting. I would imagine this would barely have 100 pages. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. I'm not going to drag these episodes on as long as the first one. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.